So for those of you who are very bullish on a Bitcoin reserve, I've got some very interesting news. You're going to want to hear about it, and something's going to happen very soon potentially. But first, we have 28,800 Bitcoin that was sold last week from the spot Bitcoin ETFs. People think that these guys are just going to hold on forever, and they're always super excited when they're buying, but they just as fast sell as well. Okay, so it's not going to just go up forever, guys. Like, Wall Street wants to make cash. They want to show profits. They like cashing in profit. They love cash. Okay, they love fiat. That's what Wall Street is. They're just playing this little game of ETFs, which isn't crypto. It's just ETFs. It's the old traditional financial system, essentially, that they're saying, oh, this is brand new and stuff. It's not, okay? But just letting you know that there's going to be a nasty bear market coming. Okay, let's move on to Ethereum. Trump loves Ethereum way more than Bitcoin. And I can prove it to you. Don't think I'm just like I'm trashing all the Bitcoin maxis out there. I'm not. So if you want to hate on somebody, hate on Trump, because Trump-backed World Liberty Financial just bought $25 million of WBTC, which is wrap Bitcoin, ERC20. And then you have Ethereum, which he bought as well, and he bought MOVE. So yeah, guys, like this is just kind of shows you where this space is heading. About the Bitcoin reserve, probably not just going to be Bitcoin, you know what I mean? Okay, S&P 500 has officially erased its entire gain since the election, wiping out $3.4 trillion, not billion, trillion dollars in value. So here's, I'm going to keep reminding you of this, is that no matter how pro-market somebody might be in office anywhere, there's always going to be market cycles, guys. There's always going to be manipulation. There's always going to be it's not always going to be up only, okay? What I mean, you know what I mean? So when you hear people like, oh, it's just going to go to $1 million, that's it. No, these guys are just smoking crack. Like, that's not how things work, okay? I've been in this space for a very long time. I'm just cutting through the BS for you guys right now, so you don't have to listen to these knuckleheads that say, oh, we're just going to go up forever. That's not true. They're a bunch of clowns, okay? So moving on, we have BlackRock, which is another clown, by the way, because they said if every millionaire in the US asked their financial advisor to get them into one Bitcoin, there wouldn't be enough. So I responded to this because I think it's just such a ridiculous news story. This is just comedy here. Good to see BlackRock is good at second grade math. And so, guys, like, who cares what BlackRock says? We all know that they want people to onboard on them, okay? Like, they don't want people to onboard with self-custody. They want people to onboard on BlackRock. That's the whole point of this stuff. So when you hear people getting excited that, oh, BlackRock bought this much Bitcoin, these guys are knuckleheads, man. Like getting excited about that, really? It doesn't fuel anything for this space. It does nothing for this space. It doesn't encourage self-custody. It doesn't encourage people sending sending Bitcoin from one address to another or anything like that. Nothing. It doesn't push this space into a better place, okay? Moving on, we have Lynn Alden saying, imagine making an iPhone and then 20,000 imitators make a buggy knockoff fake iPhone with a glued-on Apple symbol that doesn't work properly. That's Bitcoin versus crypto. So she's getting to semantics as well. Unfortunately, she hasn't been much of an OG because she doesn't understand that Satoshi, in his very emails, said Bitcoin is crypto. Pretty much used Bitcoin and crypto synonymously. So, Lynn, got to do a little bit more research. I know you're super smart, you know lots of numbers and stuff, but do some research on what Satoshi said. Plus, what do you think about this, Lynn, when it comes to Monero? Like, it was getting kicked off exchanges because it's a little too private. You know what I mean? Governments hate Monero. I like it. I like anything governments hate, okay? anything governments hate. And you'd be surprised what they like. Okay, there's a big difference there. Okay, let's go on to the crypto market getting slammed and then pumped and then slammed and pumped. 1,070,000,000 liquidated from cryptocurrency during that last drop we had. And this is both longs and shorts because, you know, shorts get super excited when it reaches near the bottom of a correction, and then they get blasted out. So very few traders actually win. That's just why I tell everybody, stay out of leverage, don't try to trade. Most of the traders on YouTube and Twitter, they're fake. They are fake. They're liars, okay? So there are very few traders out there that I actually watch. And, you know, I understand that about 2% of traders make gains over the long run. The rest, they lose money. And you can easily fake a P&L, okay, profits and loss. Okay, let's move on to this. Bitcoin just printed the largest downside wick ever on a weekly candle. A $16,079 wick, which beat the previous cycle by 2x. That is freaking nuts, but it's so fun to watch because think about it this way. You may think it's really bad because that's a big number, right? But keep in mind, guys, we didn't even drop, I don't think we dropped 30%. We might have, barely, but like not even 30% potentially. That's ridiculous, okay? Like that is almost the smallest drop of last cycle's drop, or the 2017-2018 bull market. And the reason why I keep bringing that in is because that bull market is the time when I first saw the crazy amount of capital inflowing into the market. And also, you know, back down to, let's go to last bull market. We went from, gosh, what was it? I remember seeing it at $69,000 or $64,000. It dropped down to $30,000. Okay, crazy drop. And then it went to $69,000. So imagine if we did that now, people be freaking jumping out of windows, man. Like, consider we're still at $90,000, guys. People are miserable. It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. And the people that are worried right now are the people that weren't buying in the bear market. Just realize that. That is the key thing. That's why Heidi and I are able to travel the world, be financially free. It's because we buy in bear markets when everyone hates it. Everyone calls me, Heidi, an idiot because we're publicly buying at learningcrypto.com. If you want to check that out. If you like money, check out learningcrypto.com. So, and then, you know, we buy the bear market and then we ride it to the top. And I haven't been buying anything. I have not been buying a thing. We've been taking profits instead. And it's been fantastic. I've been loving this bear market, or this bull market, sorry. So let's go on to the White House and when we should expect the official Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has revealed that President Donald Trump plans to announce a Bitcoin Strategic Reserve during the White House's inaugural crypto summit on Friday, March 8th, 2025, just a couple days from now. So I first heard about this by Thomas Fayer. He says Lutnick has said that the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is coming this week. And I said, you mean the crypto strategic reserve? It ain't gonna be just Bitcoin. And that is true, guys. I don't think it's gonna be just Bitcoin, as I've said before in prior videos, on Twitter, on every freaking time I can talk. I don't think it's going to be that, okay? And just look at what is happening with Trump's company essentially owning no Bitcoin. That is very telling on what is probably going to happen, okay? But let me know what your thoughts are below. I'd love to hear it because I could be wrong on this. Who knows? I'm up for anything. I wouldn't be surprised about anything. I might be a little bit surprised if Bitcoin's the only thing, but I would welcome that as well. So anyways, let me know your thoughts. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.